What's up everybody? If you that don't know me, my name is Chris, aka Mr. Grow It, and you're watching my extras channel. Got another Q&A video for you this week. The last Q&A video was very popular. We got a lot of thumbs up, and we got a lot of positive comments in the comment section. We got a lot of good questions as well, so I am going to answer the questions in this video, and I'm also going to answer some questions from the video I released on my main channel the other day. So let's just get right into it. Got a question. It's been about 40 days and about a week ago my plant started sexing in the veg stage. Now a pollen sac showed, but no pollen came out and a hair came out of it. So is it a hermy or a fem? I'd actually have to see a picture to give you a more accurate answer. If you're only seeing what you think is a pollen sac and a hair coming out of it, it's probably not it. Pollen sacs are in clusters. So give it some more time, see if pollen sacs form, if there's like a cluster of pollen sacs, and then you'll have your answer. Now, even if your plant is showing a lot of pistils, hairs, always keep an eye out for the potential for the plant to herm. So I've had plants in the past where they've gone 2 weeks in the flowering stage and they had tons of pistils, real nice buds starting to form. And all of a sudden they had clusters of pollen sacs forming right underneath them or right next to them. So it's hard to tell. Sometimes you really just got to make sure you're constantly inspecting your plants for both signs of it being a hermy as well as pests. Look for pests while you're inspecting your plants as well. You could always post a picture on my forum, mrgrowit.com/forum. Post a picture on there. I'm on there just about every day, every 1 to 2 days, answering questions. So if you post a picture on there, I can advise a little bit better. About the question, someone asked about fans not lasting. I used to have problems with fans until I realized I wasn't using RO water in my humidifiers. Started using RO now and they're fine. No calcium buildup in the motors. Just wondering if anybody else had this issue. Great call out. So when you are using non-RO water, so it's tap water, for example, that has minerals in it, you could experience problems both in your humidifier, just might not last as long. One of the main issues that a lot of people have is when using tap water in humidifiers is they'll get calcium buildup in their carbon filter. And that carbon filter, the pre-filter or the carbon filter sock gets all clogged up and you got to remove it and clean it. But it quickly clogs up the carbon filter. So it's definitely not recommended to use tap water in your humidifier. Definitely use RO water, some type of filtered water or distilled water. So that way you won't have that calcium buildup. But yeah, that's a very common thing that happens. Now, you mentioned that there's a buildup in motors. I've never had that happen, but that's a good call out. I can definitely see that potentially happening. Can you do an all organic grow? Really interested in organic grows. So I've actually done an organic grow before on this channel. I used organic dry amendments. Definitely didn't turn out very well, to be honest with you. I didn't get a good result from the organic amendments. I'm not sure if you're talking about the organic amendment way to do organic growing or if you're talking about no-till living organics. But yeah, I'll definitely do some organic grows in the future. Great videos and thanks for taking the time to share your knowledge. So I'm about to start my first grow and I'll be using Fox Farm Ocean Forest soil. And I have the Fox Farm nutrients. My question is, do I wait 30 days, then start feeding them, or do I start the first week of veg? So I'm not sure what you consider the first week of veg. People consider it different. Some people consider the first week of veg the week that the plant sprouts from the soil. Other people consider that the seedling stage. Some people consider the seedling stage the first 2, or sometimes some people even think the first 3 weeks are the seedling stage, then they start counting veg. So I'm not sure what you're talking about there. To make things easier for you, it's basically about 20 to 40 days from when the plant sprouts from the medium. Now, you could be transplanting into fresh soil during that first 30 days. And that fresh soil has nutrients in it. So it might be a little bit longer than the 30-day period. So 20 to 40 days is just kind of a rough guideline. Now, if you're planting directly into your final container, let's say your final container is a 5-gallon pot. I've grown like that before. It's roughly about 30 days. If you hit your plants with nutrients on the 30th day, you're fine. We're growing in Fox Farm Ocean Forest soil. I've hit my plants with nutrients as early as day 16 from sprout. And actually I got some really good results doing it that early. But those genetics could have just kind of been nutrient hungry. But yeah, general guideline, 20 to 40 days from when the plant sprouts from the medium. Go ahead and hit that with the Fox Farm nutrients. I would start with a half dose, maybe even start with a quarter dose, and always check the ppm of the runoff when you're using synthetic nutrients. You could do the runoff ppm, Some people argue that a slurry test would be better than a runoff test. Really, you can measure it either way. So in a 5x5 grow tent, how many plants will fit? Depends on how big the plants are, right? So you could actually shove a whole bunch of plants in there and keep them small, flip them to flower super early, and you'll be fine. Or you could just put one plant in a 5x5 and veg it out longer and fill up that whole grow space. So it really depends on how many plants you're looking to grow. Me, I personally like a variety of plants. For a 5x5, I would typically shove in 5, maybe 6 plants in there and veg them for 30, 40 days, then flip them, and that should basically fill up the grow space, depending on genetics. Actually, genetics, lighting, nutrition, all that stuff is gonna impact plant growth. But yeah, it really depends on how many plants you want to grow. You could keep a bunch of plants in there and just keep them small and flip, or one large plant, veg for a while. Great video, bro. How far do you keep your electric sky lights from your plants of flower? In flowering, I really like to do 20 inches. I've gone down to 18 inches before, however, kind of late in flowering, I experienced some foxtailing. Foxtailing, it can be genetics, but it can also be due to too much light. So I kind of have a gut feeling that I just had my lights too close and they started to foxtail. So 20, 21 inches away in flowering is what I like to run with the electric sky lights. That's on full power. How much molasses to how many gallons of water? I do 1 tablespoon per gallon of water. At what height do you start flowering? Depends on growth, depends on the genetics. Some indica strains I'll let veg a little bit longer and grow a little bit longer because they tend to be more compact and don't stretch as much in flowering. When I flip them into flowering, that 3-week stretch period. Now I'm growing sativa strains, those are gonna kind of be quicker to grow and longer internodes, take up more space. So I won't veg for as long. It depends on genetics. Usually I go by the number of days in veg. Usually it's around 30 to 40 days in veg. It's usually about the right height before flipping a flower. But yeah, it depends on genetics really and growth. How often do you use microbes? So I've been using Mammoth Peat and I've been using Blue Planet Nutrients Rhizomix. I kind of rotate with them kind of every other. So watering, I'll water with Mammoth Peat. The next watering, I'll toss in some microbes. Sometimes I'll skip it and yeah, it's just kind of randomly, but things like microbes can be added every watering, and you shouldn't see an issue. Inoculating your medium with microbes isn't going to do any harm. My question is, do I have to start my photos in a small pot or a cup, then transplant? I normally just grow autos, keeping them in the same home. You don't necessarily have to start in a small pot and then cup and then transplant up. You could just do it right in the final container. Some people will plant directly into the final container. Some people will plant in a small cup and then transplant up. There are pros and cons to putting in a small cup and then transplanting up. And there are pros and cons to just planting directly into the final container. I actually did create a video on transplanting multiple times. I'll link that video in the description section below. I explain more detail about the pros of transplanting multiple times. And actually in the comment section of that video, there is some good call outs, additional information that I didn't mention within the video. So I'll link that down below for you. Was the winner picked from the grillcraft giveaway? Yes, Chilled LED, they already picked a winner for that. And I think that winner already received the light as well. Really good information. I've been watching your channel for some time and actually learned quite a bit from you, so thank you. I have a question about hydroponic growing though. I know this doesn't have anything to do with your current grow, but I'm starting a DWC grow. DWC stands for Deep Water Culture. I'm using Riot Rooter Plus and I'm starting with seeds. So my question is, when should I put my seeds and plug into my 5-gallon bucket and net pots? In other words, how long should I keep the seedlings and plugs separate? So unfortunately, Aaron, I don't have any experience in DWC at all. So I don't want to give you an answer and then all of a sudden that answer be wrong. So what I'll do is I'll ask this amazing community that we have here with a whole wealth of knowledge. If anybody has DWC experience that has an answer to his question, please leave it down in the comment section below. Help Aaron out. Great video and thanks for sharing your knowledge. I also have read your book as well as heard you talk about how you're going to do a revision soon. What kind of stuff can we expect to change? Any update on when this will take place? Great question. Yes, my book has been updated, although it has not been released yet. There's a couple things that are pending that I'm waiting on, so soon, I hope. I updated several of the sections within the book, just adding information, so it's not going to be a complete revision as far as the text, but there is a lot of additional text in there good information. For example, the feeding nutrient section has been expanded to be a lot more clear than it is in the version that you have right now. Also, a lot of the photography is different. I actually went onto Instagram and found some cannabis photographers. I think I got like eight or nine photographers that ended up purchasing some of their photos. I wanted to include in the book, so it's not just my photos in there, that there's other photos as well from good photographers in the cannabis community. And also the design is different, so I hired a designer to do a redesign, and I'm looking to do a hard copy as well. So all that's kind of in progress. I'm hoping that the ebook is released within a month. Okay, well this video is getting long, so I'm going to stop it there. Thank you guys for all the questions that you left in the comment section. If you have any other questions, please let me know in the comment section and maybe I will answer them in a future video. Also, if there are any specific topics that you want me to cover, let me know, and I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.